Do this shit until they murder me.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another World of Tanks console video. My name is Zach, and today's video is it worth it? The Japanese tier 7 premium medium tank, the Warlord Panther. Now normally I would carry on with a standard tank review for any tank that is introduced into World of Tanks console. However, in this case I wasn't really able to get around into getting into the Warlord Panther, simply because I've been enjoying a lot more high tier games recently, trying to grind out some of the tier 10s that I really want to, as well as stockpile experience on some of the tier 9s that are going to get changed around for the new tier 10s being introduced. That's a different topic altogether. So I decided to go with an Is It Worth It video, my personal opinion on the Warlord Panther, since I won't be able to get around to doing an actual review. Now the reason being is because I didn't purchase this tank. This tank is a loan from Wargaming, as I was supposed to get some gameplay of it, but again, not really been enjoying the lower tiers. So, the Warlord Panther, what do we know about this tank? Currently, it plays up to tier 8, has a 56% silver bonus, a 20% experience bonus, a 1200 hit points, engine power of 870, meaning it can go up to a speed limit of 55 kilometers forward. Hull traverse is 32 and turret traverse is 34. The hull on the front of the tank is 85, 50 to the sides, and 40 to the rear. So pretty decent for tier 7, not the best. The turret has 100 millimeters on the front, 45 on the side, and 45 on the rear. The gun on this tank, which is slightly different from what the standard German tier 7 Panther is, with that 7.5, although they carry the same caliber gun, we're using the Japanese 75mm, which has a penetration of 150 on its standard rounds, 194 on its APCL rounds, and 38 on its HE rounds. Now it still carries the same damage that the German Panther has, with 135 on its standard and premium, and 175 if you can penetrate an HE rounds. The aim time on this is 2.3 seconds, and I believe this is slightly comparable to the... This is slightly better than the Panther, which, you know what, I think they actually get the same penetration. Not penetration, I'm sorry. The same aim time, 2.3 seconds for console. Pulling up Tanks GG at the same time, so it's kind of a little bit hard to compare for that. The accuracy at 100 meters is 35 or 0.35. When moving the tank is 0.51, and when rotating tank 0.91. So pretty decent. And it's a little bit unfortunate because 0.35 for a 75mm gun, it's a little bit lackluster from me. The rate of fire is 15 rounds a minute, the max ammo capacity is 81, base view range is 370, and the base signal range is 550. All stats are viable to change, whether you choose to use a different captain, commander, different unique skills, brothers in arms, all that stuff, vents, anything else to modify the tank. We just pretty much went over all the base stats. So, going over the Warlord, is it a tank worth it? In my opinion, and whether you guys disagree or not, it's not. It's one of those tanks that you can pretty much skip over and save your money for a different type of premium medium. This tank has basically been introduced for collectors. That's just an honest opinion here. That it's basically an eye catcher to most. That's pretty much what the gold on there is for. But the black on it, the flat black on it, I'm actually really enjoying, because I know a lot of people wanted the black tanks back. I'm not too disappointed by the visual aspect of the tank. I mainly don't have the reskins and stuff bother me. I care about how a tank performs, as well as what some of the stats of it are, and the performance of a tank beats out, to me, performance of a tank will beat out the visual aspect of a tank anytime. The visual aspect is just the bonus of the player experience. So, the reason I don't recommend the tank is simple. The penetration to me, and the 75mm gun, Kind of makes it feel penetration damage as well as the 75mm gun on it just makes it feel at tier 7 a little bit lackluster. This tank can meet tier 9s. Oh, I'm sorry. I screwed up on that one. It plays up to tier 8, so it can meet tier 8s, and some of those tier 8s, like 90% of them, will pretty much outperform this Warlord. That's kind of one of those downfalls to it. Now, currently we have two other Japanese medium tanks that you have a selection from. One of those is currently not viable. The STA2, or I guess if you want to count the reskinned version or the hero skin version of it, the Senshi STA2, those are a lot better performing, and the STA2 also gets preferential matchmaking, plays up to tier 9s, it doesn't have to meet tier 10s, as well as the Edelweiss. And the Edelweiss actually has, that's 100mm, I believe. It plays up to tier 10s, but it, even visually to me, feels more out of place than the Panther, but performs just as well. And that's, again, my personal opinion. It does carry a lot of ammo, so even though it carries 81, you fire 15 rounds a minute with the 75mm, and you'll pretty much eat through 81 rounds. And I think the most I fired in the game is 40, and I don't even remember how many of those actually penetrated, because the .35 accuracy, you would feel because you have a 75, you'd more use it for sniping. Comparing this to the German Panther definitely outperforms it with the gun, and it has better penetration to pack it as well. But that's simply because, again, that thing has a very good gun on it compared to the Japanese 75mm gun that the Panther currently has. The base view range on it is pretty low, but that's I'm comparing this again to some tier 8s, but tier 7's 370 is pretty good, and since you only have to compete with tier 8s, the only thing that pretty much outspots you is a few of the tier 7 mediums. I think it's only a few of them, and majority of the tier 7 light tanks will outperform you or outview you, but that's pretty much common and should be the case anyway. As far as bang for your buck, I think you're better off purchasing the Senshi or the standard STA2. The bonus of this tank is just, it feels really low. That's just an honest opinion, as well as just being kind of out there as far as tanks go. Let me just, while I quickly look up this, you can look at the tank. I want to make sure I get the exact cost of this down. The standard tank cost is 6,200 golds. And I say standard, but that's just the base tank itself. Normally, they never get sold by just the singular tank. They always come with an extra 100% trained crew, garage slot, which is pretty normal. So you're looking around 7,000 gold. Is about the average of what just the standard tank is if they sell it. And at that point, 7,000, you might as well just throw in the extra 100 to, because, you know, it's only 7,400 for the STA2, and it's one tier higher, and quite frankly, outperforms it. Gets a 50% silver bonus and a 15% experience, but again, you're going up against tier 9s a little bit more frequently, and as far as stats go, the tank is probably better. Not probably, it is better compared to that, and it has a 90mm gun on it. It'll make you more money than what I feel the Warlord would be able to as far as an experienced player goes. That's just, again, my opinion. So that's it for the Warlord. Again, there are better choices currently in the game that are just sitting inside the tech tree that would probably be a better bang for your buck than the current Warlord Panther that is or no longer should be on sale by the time this video goes up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the informative video from this, and I will catch you next time. Have a good night.